host with the most, hopefully. And Doug is typing out his. Righty. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back for yet another installment in the RTP podcast. You know myself as Al from One Man Indie, but it's not about me today. It is about me and these three other brothers that are with me today, starting off at the originator and the creator of the podcast, D7 Darkman Gaming.
Yo, peoples, what's up?
And now we got Doug from Cychronic Games, the man I affectionately call the Machine.
Yo, what's up? What's up, everyone?
And now we, last but not least, the inspiration of RPG Maker game creation in his nation for his generation. SG Harlequin.
What's up, guys? What's up, guys? How's it going?
All right, now we got everybody in here. Thank you very much for coming in. I hope that you are enjoying it. Now, today we are going to be discussing the game that's on the screen right now, and that is World's Smallest RPG. So we're going to start off with just initial impressions of it right now, and I guess we can start off with Doug. What's your initial impression of the game?
Well, to be honest, it looked like it would be fun to play, and like it had a good look to it. But then I thought that the execution was lacking. So it felt kind of like a Zelda style game, and there was a couple things that really kind of griped me a little bit about it. Like I found the because I'm on the keyboard, not the controller. I know it said controller encouraged, but some of the keys for the controls felt awkward to me. Like the V key and the C key, which is like I don't see a lot of games using those keys for like attacking and stuff. So it just felt a little the controls felt awkward to me. The music was it had that 8-bit feel, which I like the 8-bit feel, whatever. But for some reason I didn't feel like the music went with the scene, and that was just my impression. It was pretty short. It was a very small RPG, kind of short. I mean, I think I could only play for like 30 minutes before I got to what was the end of it or whatever. So I feel like I feel like this game probably could have been made in like a weekend or something, and it's like a concept, a proof of concept. Like, hey, this can be a bigger game if we want it to be. But then it was like just like a hobbyist project, but didn't get finished or something like that. That was my impression of the game.
All right. Okay. We'll go with go. Come on, Harlequin. Give us your first impression. Just your first impressions, bro. Your first impressions. Don't beat us in the head with it.
Well, I'm not quite sure what you mean by first impressions. Like this game is only a first impression. There is no in-depth impression. It's like 5 minutes. You can be done with this. Like I don't know. I've seen so many bugs, and I don't know. It's just all jank. But I did like the looks of it. Like I was intrigued by the creatures, and I was wondering why there's this, the high tech like chamber saving point thing. That was kind of weird. So I wanted to like it, but I just couldn't. Like everything was so buggy, and I don't know. The music was all right, I guess. I'm not really much into the 8-bit style. I'm not really the retro fan. But yeah, Doug already said it, like the controls. I was playing on keyboard as well. And just because you recommend playing with a gamepad does not mean you can just cheap out on making the keyboard controls feel nice. That's not how it works.
Okay. All right. And finally, we got D7. What you got to say, bro?
Oh man, this is what you would call a project that had a great concept. Like the idea was there, but the execution wasn't. This needed to be in the oven a little bit longer. This is one of the scenarios where a developer creates a game and they're excited to release it regardless the state that it's in.
Got you.
This is that type of game.
We got no footage playing, by the way.
We ain't got a lot of footage in there. I mean, it's about an hour and a half. That's why I'm kind of like just going through the conversation first. But thank you for reminding me.
Just talk a little faster then.
This is our first impressions.
All right, now for myself, I can kind of say the same thing. I was unfortunately kind of disappointed by what I saw. Initially, I suggested it to these guys because it looked cool. It looked really cool. I liked the idea of it. But when I was playing through it, I noticed there was some missed opportunities, but I still had a fairly pretty good time of playing it. Once I got used to kind of the controls a little bit, I felt that it was there was something definitely there. I'll definitely say that. But now that we got our initial impressions over with, all right. So, Doug, why don't you tell us about your overall thoughts, like your whole experience playing it and everything else?
Well, I mean, I could see what they were trying to do with this game. It was at first in this part specifically. I don't know what happened, but the first time I played, I was not able to interact with these helmets or whatever. I was like spending like 10 minutes trying to interact with them, and I had to restart the game, and then it worked the second time. I don't know what that was, or if it was a fluke. But just the controls just were off for me on a keyboard. It didn't feel good on to use those exact keys on the keyboard for the attacks and stuff. And it was like the same button to open something or to talk to something was the same button for running. It just was really kind of a weird feeling. It has the look of it though. It's just the execution. It felt the dialogue too. I'm sure it's like Zelda where there's not really a lot of dialogue and it's not really about the story. But I really am a big story guy. Like I like when the story goes deeper and deeper. But this just felt really surface level as far as any kind of story. But again, I don't think the point of this game was to have a great story. So I just keep going back to it. Feels like a proof of concept that needed, like D7 was saying, needed to bake in the oven for a little longer, and I think it could be good, but I didn't find the experience particularly enjoyable, but again, anything can improve, but that was my initial impressions of playing it. If it could have been done, but I think it can be done better. But yeah, I just got to the point where I couldn't go into any further rooms, and it was like, oh, is this the end? Or so there was that as well. So yeah, I don't know. It was okay, but meh.
Is it meh? All right. Come on, Harlequin. I know you're waiting, bro. Come on.
Said meh. Yeah, I'm pretty much at the same point. I'm just even worse than that. Like, I went into this game like excited because I like the little class selection they got going.
Yeah.
And I saw they had a bard, and I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna play a bard because that's what I do. Yeah, so and then I fiddled around with the helmets and couldn't interact with them until I found out in this game you can only interact with things from the sides.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't work on any other spot. You kind of have to be on the side of it or inside of it for it to work.
Yeah,
that was weird.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like the kind of little dialogues they have going. Like the character is translating their gibberish to you. I don't know. It's weird. I like it. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this would have been a game I would play normally, but so there's just so much roughness and so many bugs going on that you just can't enjoy it. You start out, the keyboard controls are hella weird. Like these, what was it? I think V was like running and interacting, and C was, I think, hitting stuff, and X, I think, was using your secondary weapon. I don't know. They are right next to each other, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel good to use. So you run around with the arrow keys and you use the other 3 keys. It doesn't feel good. It's weird, and you end up pushing the wrong buttons a lot, and I don't know. So that's that. And then there was this bug where you have like maximum money and whatever that harps icon is up there, as you can see on the footage right now.
Yeah.
So that made exploring kind of pointless as well. Oh yeah, the bug also gives you all items. Like you just have all the secondary weapons. So exploring was kind of pointless at this point. Like I already have everything. Yeah, nothing is explained either. Like you get a hammer, and sure, if you played an old school Zelda game like the Super Nintendo one, Link's Awakening, you kind of can guess that you can use the hammer to like smash rocks and shit like that. But it's not explained. You just kind of have to stumble upon the mechanic to like find out, which is kind of weird. Like Zelda does explain it to you. Like when you find the hammer tells you, all right, you can do this and that with this. And yeah, you need that. You can't just expect your player to guess what he's supposed to do. That doesn't work most of the time, especially not if you got like this fairly open game where you can just take any path. Like we have no objective. We don't know what we're supposed to do. So where do we go? And what mechanics are there? We don't know, and it's not explained. And there's a lot of bugs in there too. Like aside from having all the items already, the second location, that temple castle kind of thing, I don't fucking know, was just locked off. I don't know, there were like rocks in the way, so maybe that's the end. I don't know, the game didn't tell me. And what else? Yeah, stuff respawns all the time. I'm not quite sure why that is. Like if you pick up the coin and change the map and go back, you can pick up the coin again. So that's kind of like, yeah, an infinite money glitch already again. I don't know. And what else do we have? Oh yeah, we can fall to our death. Like there's like you know, like in Link's Awakening, there are dungeons where you can fall into holes. So that's nothing unusual, but don't fucking instantly kill me. Like what? Why? Take a heart like every other game does. Why is it an instant death mechanic? That's stupid.
I mean, it's that
Like the only saving grace at that point was that the save point was just a map past that. So I didn't have to go a long way. But imagine if you cleared like 5, 6, 7 maps and there was no save point, and then you just fall because of the stupid control scheme, for example. That's an Alter 4 moment right there.
I mean, what happened in real life? I mean, you fall at one time in real life. You ain't getting no reach.
I already said if I wanted to play real life, I would step out my door. Right? And I intuitively know how to walk, right? I'm not gonna step over a cliff by accident. Yeah, that's just, I don't know. I have no idea why this slot game is in there. I mean, it's cool, but why is it there? It makes no sense. Why are we in a cave with a slot machine? I don't know. There's one guy that tells you to teleport with him. Doesn't work either.
Yeah.
It's just so many bugs and so many dead ends everywhere. Like, I don't know. What is this game? This didn't need a bit longer in the oven. This needs a lot more time in the oven, or a very fast developer, because there's a lot to fix. Everything, the concept is great, but everything is jank. Everything is just kind of there, and it's not really polished, and that's what it needs. It needs a whole lot of polish and a whole lot of bug fixing and a whole lot of playtesting. And that's why I keep saying people have to stop putting their unplay tested trash on the internet. You don't do that. It shows you in a bad light. Your demo is supposed to be your best step, your best foot forward. It's supposed to make your game shine. And what did we get? This broken shit. No, don't do that. Just wait. Just playtest your game until it works. Or get other people to playtest your game for you, but don't just upload it and say, here's my demo, because chances are I'm not gonna download it again, even if you post an update. This jank was so broken, I'm not gonna download it again. You lost the player. Like, it doesn't matter since it's free pretty much, and it's just like another game on itch pretty much. But imagine if you try to sell this and you uploaded a demo like that.
Yeah.
Like, who's gonna buy your game after that? Nobody.
No, I can see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that my main gripe is really the polish is missing and so many bugs. Like, please play test your game before you upload it, man.
All right, now D7, go ahead, bro. Now he tell us a little bit about what happened there, and also I want to let everybody know here, because most likely D's gonna go over this as well. The developer did reach out to me and told me that he had updated the game, but unfortunately we didn't get the update in time before we could actually play it for the podcast. Now D7 did so. Give us like your total experience in regards to what you played beforehand and what you played recently.
Okay, I would do that. For those who know me, they know I'm a Zelda fan, I'm a Mega Man fan, you know, and I like the 8-bit graphics of games. So, you know, looking at this game definitely brings you to the OG Zelda, you know, but with, you know, of course, better mechanics because it's a newer engine than what developers had at their disposal for the 8-bit console, you know, because of memory and stuff. So, like Cychronic said, you know, just how the game looks, you'll figure this is going to be a good game, especially in the beginning where you get to choose pretty much your class, you know, your helmet. You know, I was okay, you know, this developer, you know, they're trying to do something different, but the travesty start as soon as you get to the second screen. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. When you talk to the lady Millie, Millie gives you every item in the game, max. You get 99 potions, 99 health, all the weapons, all coins, all harps. You know what I mean? The only thing that's not maxed out is your crystal, like your magic points.
Yeah, I would say that, Ricky. I would agree with that.
That right there,
I would agree
pretty
with that.
much take away your whole experience of even playing the demo. I felt like what the developer gave us was his test map. You know, he probably uploaded his test map and not realizing what he uploaded. So, with my experience with the game has some neat mechanics, but it was poorly executed. Like, right off the bat, I didn't like, well, Harlequin said he liked the fact that the player was translating to, I mean, the main, you know, hero was translating what the gibberish was saying. But not whatsoever was this game presented to you in the first person standpoint. Like why is the main character translating everything? Like, they say this or they saying that. Like, what's the point of that? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I didn't really like that feature because it was just wasted text. In my opinion, it was just wasted text. And another thing, I played this with a controller. The controller, I had to figure it out. Just like you guys probably had to figure some things out on keyboard, but controllers, it worked fine. But I wish there were some type of, you know, instructions, like for controller and keyboard, like what keys is what. But it did feel like you were playing backwards because the scheme were different. Like, you know how normal RPG Maker games, you hit the triangle button, you go to the menu, and X is confirm and circle is cancel. This game it's like reverse. It's reverse. It's not what you're used to, with the normal controller scheme. And another thing, I didn't like that your weapons, like your magical weapons, you were forced to use your mana points every time you swung your weapon. You know what I mean? But when you run out of mana points, you use your weapon without the magical properties.
I never noticed that.
So like if you got like a wand,
Mm-hmm.
like every time you attack with your wand,
Mm-hmm.
you lose magic points.
That makes
But
sense.
when you don't have enough to do the spell,
Mhm.
you attack with your wand normally. So we should, as a player, we should be given the choice to use the weapon with the magic or without the magic. You know what I mean? Like your spell should be you should be able to reserve your spells prior for like crowds and stuff like that, harder enemies and whatnot, instead of like you're forced to use it every time you swing. You know what I mean? So that kind of take the strategic, play out of it from your gameplay. And another thing, false rooms. We got rooms that you go in. Everything respawns. Like you go in that one room with all the treasure, like all the vases. You could pretty much do an infinite run there. You could get so much magic, magic potions, blue potions, or whatever. You could just keep grinding that. And the futuristic look, like with the slot machine and the save. When you save, it's like you're in the future. You're living in a cave, but you got these futuristic mechanics, like like on Dragon Ball, the when they recover, it's like that. Like when you save, you go like into like this chamber and get your HP back and stuff like that. So it feels too alienistic and futuristic for this type of game, whereas it's clearly like a dungeon crawler. You're underground, you're a dwarf or a troll, whatever you are. You know what I mean? It just felt out of place. And like on the screen now, the fairies, when the dude tell you to kill the fairies, you kill the fairies and you go talk to him. He keeps saying the same thing, and you go in the fairy room. The fairies respond, so you're in a loop quest pretty much. You can never finish out the quest, and the same thing with the girl Millie. She asks you to go eastward with her, and when you say yes, it's like you're teleporting. You're trying to teleport somewhere, but you're in the loop. You know what I mean? So you can't really do anything. The whole game, the whole demo is full of dungeons. I mean, it's full of uncompleted quests. You know what I mean? You go behind the waterfall, you're stuck. You go to the castle, you can't open the door. You go to the fireplace, you can't open the door on that side. It's a lot of stuff that you can't do to like progress a story where a player can, have a reason to why they want to buy this game. You know what I mean? Like everything is just so incomplete. It's just, you can't really get a feel of the game, except it's, got cool looking weapons. It got a good concept, but the play, it isn't there. It isn't there. So, like one man Indy said, I was able to play 20 minutes of the release version, the updated version. I was able to play it for 20 minutes. I could clearly tell you this: the map are different. Like this stuff do not exist. It's like they remapped every map. You know what I mean? But the maps look better. the concept is still the same though.
Mhm.
You still got that fairy guy that you cannot complete the fairy quest with, but he
Okay.
has more dialogue and you have more choices to give him. You know, you can ask him who he is and what your reward is going to be. He gives you a wand that turn enemies to animals. But when you try to go into the room that he instructs you to go into, you can't go in there. You know what I mean? So both versions are incomplete. You know, you go through one transition, it transition you to the outside world, but it puts you in the wrong spot and you're stuck. Like you can't move.
At least there's no knock knock noise.
Nah, there's no knock knock, but it puts you on the tile where you can't move.
Okay.
Like it puts you in the wall.
Whoa, what?
Then you're you know you're soft lock.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe the developer feels like they're not play testing their game, to be honest. You know what I mean? Because if they were, we wouldn't be having this. You know, we won't be feeling like this. We'll be saying praises for this game, but there's nothing really good to say about it in terms of gameplay.
Oh, doggone. Okay, well, I mean, I don't. Okay, here's my thing, right? I personally, I don't really think I had really any kind of problems with the overall mechanics of the game, even with the whole translating the text of what the little gibberish that the monster was giving us, because I think it kind of like, at least for me, from what I was seeing, I was kind of seeing it as, how am I thinking of it? It reminded me of like older games where this type of thing happened. Somewhat kind of like Magic of Scheherazade. I know a lot of people probably have not heard of that game. It's personally my personal all-time favorite game of all time. I will never stop singing praises of it. I think it was, if it was pushed right, I think we would actually be talking about it as highly as Legend of Zelda and Chrono Trigger. But that's just my opinion. But that reminded me of that. So I didn't really have much of a problem with the dialogue from the monsters. I didn't have a problem initially with the combat. It kind of annoyed me at first that you weren't able to you weren't able to like go like attack up or attack down. You kind of hit everything from the side. That kind of annoyed me at first until I got used to it. Also, I was using the controller. So I believe I hit the B button. No, it was either the B or the A button that made me kind of zip around kind of fast, like the dash button. So when you were able to dash, you have more a better attack. You're probably watching me doing that on the footage. You're able to see me kind of dash around enemies and maneuver differently and stuff like that. So I honestly, I mostly enjoyed my experience with the game. I enjoyed the puzzle solving. I enjoyed finding the different kinds of secrets. Most of this time when you're seeing this footage, it's me just looking, see if I can find any kind of secrets at all, any kind of tricks, tips, any kind of hidden stuff. I know, I'm pretty sure that Harlequin didn't go through half as much effort in trying to find this. I know he probably tapped out in like 30 minutes. He was done. I believe that's what he said too. So I spent like an hour and 20 minutes just trying to look around to see if there was anything that was more inside of the game. I found like hidden stuff behind the waterfall. I found hidden rooms that you can go around through the walls and stuff like that, and I all kind of stuff. So to me, there's a lot that is there. There's a lot in terms mechanically, in terms of the world, because even though, yes, G7, you're right, even though it's supposed to be I guess a fantasy setting, but when I'm looking at it, and maybe it's because I've watched like a lot of different TV as a kid growing up, I've seen stuff where fantasy and like things like machinery, especially like in the 80s and stuff like that, kind of incorporated and it still took part of the story and stuff like that. So maybe I'm used to it. Plus, Final Fantasy had somewhat kind of a thing like that when it initially came out.
Yeah,
So-
hey, you know, you forgot. You know what you can do here, right?
What? What?
You could destroy those enemies with the hammer. The one that's shooting the fire.
I didn't even know that. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But not. You said that you spent an hour exploring and trying to find stuff, but at the same time, like it's ruined. Your gameplay is ruined because all the items you're finding. What's the point of finding the secrets and you're not getting rewarded for it because you already got maxed everything?
Yeah.
So the reward isn't there because you know you already got it. And that's how I felt playing it. You know what I mean? Like once I got all the weapons, like I mean, what's the point of playing it? What's the point of finding the secret spots to get, you know, cooler weapons and stuff where I already have everything?
That's the secret of discovery, man. It's the sense and the pride of discovery. It's just that's what you get rewarded with.
It's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same. It is not the same. Secret discovery, like I have to find this wand that shoots 8 directions. Yeah, like if I didn't have it and I found it, yeah, cool, man. Shoot, I got a decent wand. Maybe nobody found this. You feel what I'm saying? It was a secret area. Nobody was able to find it or whatnot. You know, bragging points. But if I got everything from the beginning,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? What's the reward of finding hidden items? You know, it's none. It's gone. Like it's gone. It's not there. Like every treasure chest you get from here on out is pointless. It's pointless.
Okay.
You got max money. You got max hearts. You got all the weapons. 99 is pointless. That lava. What's in that treasure chest? It's only 20 coins. That's it.
Yeah. I was a little pissed about that. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little pissed. Like, wait, I went through all this for 20 doggone little crystal shards and stuff, man. Look.
Like, bro, like right now, even though you're on God mode, like I could see the rewards of this game. Like finding like hidden items and stuff like that. Yeah, the reward is great. But when you give me a demo that spoils that, you know, that takes away the experience. That takes away the experience of wanting to do this over again.
You know what probably could have happened? When he got ready to upload this, maybe he had given himself all of that stuff initially just to try to like test things out and stuff like that.
That's why I said I think this is a test. This was his test map.
Or his test.
This probably was his test map.
Yeah.
And you know, he gave Millie, you know, I guess that was his NPC that gave him everything. I don't know, but you know, it's the dev's responsibility to make sure that he has a playable demo.
Yeah, it is. Now I had reached out to him. I wanted to try to see if there was anything else. Like this would have been the perfect time for him to actually release the updated demo then, because then we could have had a chance to see what it actually would have been.
That's not ready either.
Well, you know, it apparently, according to you, at least it was somewhat better. Like it's almost like you said, it's almost like a completely different game at this point.
Yeah, like all this is different. Like you see this area, it's all different. It's different.
I can't wait to actually try it out
like
myself.
the whole like even this area. I ain't see the slot machine or anything. It's a different game. You feel what I'm saying? It's a different game.
Yeah.
Same NPCs, but different. You can see the difference.
Okay.
And you know what I mean?
I was telling him that, and he came back to me literally today. Like if he had if he reached out say like yesterday, I definitely was okay. Well, guys, well we got the new update now. He just updated it. Let's see if we can give it a try now, and we can compare between the two, and we can give it maybe a little bit more of maybe a more balanced view of it. But he it literally was like I gotten a message like about 2 hours ago before the stream started. No way we're gonna freaking try to cram in the play for that right now. It's not gonna happen.
I mean, you aren't gonna get much. You won't gonna get much in it too because, like I said, it's still incomplete. It's still incomplete. Like the girl you talked to Millie again. This time Millie doesn't give you God mode. You know you still have you know what the game is intending you for you to have. So he fits that. That's fits. And but the only thing is, you know, there's like spikes in the ground now. You know, there's other stuff too. Different enemies that I've seen. You could experience the true difficulty of the game, which I feel this game isn't easy. I don't think it's going to be an easy game. I think it's going to be, you know, you're going to have some skills to play this game. But the execution, like when you release a demo, you got to have the execution. Like can you execute a playable demo to win over, you know, fans that like games like The Legend of Zelda or Star Tropics or you know, Legend of Mana, Secret of Mana, whatever. You know, but I feel if the game can do it, it's just it feels
incomplete.
Yeah, it feels incomplete. Yeah. And that's my only thing. Like, I don't really have no complaints with the side, you know, the NPC only faces one direction. That's okay. That's okay. That's not really a bother to me, but you know, not able to do certain stuff kind of you know
takes you off. You better say
yeah. And you know, make you not want to play it like that.
Yeah, see, because I'm fighting the fairies now for like how many times was this? Like I think like the 20th time or something like that. And
you're gonna be there all day trying to fight them fairies.
Yeah, it was a bit of a short. Because dude did daggone for sure didn't say nothing. He just did you kill the fairies? Did you kill the yeah man, I killed the fairies. Like that's what I was talking about. I had put the health potion on the other button so I can like just heal my way through any damage or whatever. So you know, that was my little strat for it.
Then I killed the slimes. It was 3 slimes.
Yeah.
I killed them and all of them turned to chickens.
Oh, you did the polymorph staff thing. Yeah, I seen that.
Okay, that's what it was, the polymorph staff?
Yeah. That's
okay,
what that was.
like what the heck? Like I was like, okay.
So it all right, okay, Harlequin, or Doug. Feel free to jump in. All right. All right, now I know Harlequin initially in the back chat he was saying like maybe this probably was not maybe a good idea, almost like kind of a waste because we the dev had at least at this particular point has currently updated it now. Now, let me just think of it like this. Based on what you've played so far, what things, and I'm talking about Doug and Harlequin. Based on what you've played so far, what points of improvement or specific things you could say that would be a good improvements for this game?
I can chime in. Yeah, I think that some good improvements that could be implemented is being able to. I think being able to interact with stuff from 4 directions rather than just 2, because you're walking in 4 directions, but you're only able to interact from the sides. I do find that kind of annoying, actually. I think that might be an improvement, like a slash from the up or the down, directions. I think that, longer, it's a little short. It's pretty small, but maybe that was how it was advertised because it's the smallest RPG or whatever. So I don't know if small means short, but it could have been a little longer. I couldn't, I know it's probably not about the story, but the story is what really hooks me. So I didn't get a feel for this story either way. So That could be an improvement. I mean, there's a lot. It's like I see it as a decent concept, but it's just really not finished yet. It's like if you just first started making a project, and not a first project, but a like the beginning of a project that is definitely not done yet. And I would just say across the board, just they have to refine it in like most. The graphics look okay. I don't have an issue with the way that the graphics look and the 8-bit look and the style of music. That's all good. But it just a little. It just needs to bake in the oven a little longer. I guess I'd put it like that.
Okay.
As I've said before. That's
Well,
all I really have to say.
Let me ask you this then. Actually, maybe I'll ask it to you in this way. If this was a Cychronic Games production, or if you were to help to get this game published, right? What would you do differently?
Well, I don't know. It's not my game, but I would make the story. I would probably make it a little. There was some sci-fi in there. I'd probably make it a little more sci-fi. If again, this isn't my game, so it's like, okay, let's take somebody whose game it isn't and turn it into something that you would make. I would work on this. I would work on making some kind of story, some kind of hook that way. That would be kind of what I would say. Like if I was telling this developer, hey, before we can publish it, we're gonna need to tighten up the story a little bit. I would have them focus on getting this to be some kind of coherent thing. Because right now it just feels like you're a character walking around in dungeons, and everybody who you talk to is kind of like, why do they matter? What are they doing? Why are they important? So that would be the main thing I'd have tightened up, and then I would say the controls probably should be easier to either set buttons on a controller or the standard keyboard controls that you get in almost every other game as the controls for if you're using keyboard, and that the game would have to have some kind of finish to it. It's not. I mean, it just seems like it's like 15 or like 20% done. Like I don't know how long it's meant to be, or if it's meant to just be played in a single sitting or whatever. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, those are some improvements I would suggest personally.
All right, so now here we come to it. Our resident German. All right, bro. What kind of improvement? If this was a Harlequin, or if Harlequin was to try to give guidance to this developer to improve the game,
hit the delete button. No. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Come on, bro. Come on, man.
I'm joking. No. The first thing, in my opinion, that needs improvement is bring back the fucking options. Like, what the hell? You have to go out of your way to remove the options screen and remove all the controller inputs and whatnot. You have to do that deliberately. Why? Making a retro game does not mean remove every accessibility feature there is. That's a thing of the past. You can make a retro game but still have people bind their own fucking key bindings and give them sound options because you're blasting my ears with your 100% fucking volume and your shitty audio mixing. Like, why is your audio track like fucking plain start volume? What? At least give me an option menu to turn it down. Rebindable controls, like, come on, dude, it's 2023. Give me my options back. It's like, why do you go out of your way to remove them? I don't understand. Why would anyone do that? Like, the reason old retro games didn't have them is probably because they didn't need them. If you played an old game, an old RPG game, you were playing on a console. If you needed to tune the volume, you would pick up your TV remote and lower the volume that way. But nowadays on a PC, you don't do that. You turn down the volume in the game options, and why would you go out of your way to remove that? It's just a feature you need to have, like rebindable controls, audio settings, all kinds of settings, all kinds of accessibility settings, whatever you can implement. Don't go out of your way and remove them. What the fuck? And the next thing is polish. Like, I don't really care about much of the story. Maybe we didn't even just gotten to see it. I mean, the game is so bugged and so short. Maybe we just didn't see the story happening because there's nothing to see. There's like 4 or 5 rooms of a dungeon and that's it. So I'm not sure about the story. I was intrigued by the sci-fi looking thing, so I wanted to see more, but I couldn't. So polish everything. Like, we need 4 directions. Don't make a 4-directional game if you can't even attack in 4 directions. What's going on there? That makes no sense. If you do a side scroller, sure, but not like this. The hitboxes, I don't know how it's possible, but hitboxes in like action RPG maker games are always shitty because they are still tile based. So the hitboxes are never accurate. As long as you're just on the same tile, you're gonna hit them, no matter where your weapon is actually pointing at. Like, you can even hit enemies behind you in this game because why not? Because the tile matches. So that's kind of shitty as well. It all feels jank. It's all kind of there, but it doesn't really work yet, and it's really rough. So you need to polish those features. Your demo needs to play like the finished game. Like, the content is locked, of course, because it's a demo, but your systems and your mechanics, everything needs to work like if it's the full game. Otherwise, what's the point of having a demo?
That's a good point. All right, so now, D, based on everything you've experienced so far, if you were to actually be the say like the director for the game, the creative director for the game, in terms of how you wanted to guide this particular dev to improve the game, play the game feel, what would you do and what would you suggest, given your experience with both versions of it? Finish your sandwich. I got you. I'm sorry. I caught you while you were eating. My bad, bro. I'm sorry.
What I would do, I would
Think about it.
One, I would make a UI, a better UI system for like your equipment.
Okay.
Instead of having because this is how the game performs. You're constantly in the menu a lot. You know what I mean? Like switching between your weapons and healing yourself and restoring HP and MP. So I would like make a UI showing what like you carry multiple items, probably make a hotkey.
Yeah.
Create a hotkey for like your healing and your weapons and stuff like that, instead of having the player keep going in the menu, which I was constantly in the menu because I chose the wizard. The wizard, I think you get the wand and you run out of magic quick. Like, you run out of magic quick. Yeah, really fast. And I mean, I have no problem with the exploration.
Wait. Are you saying your main weapon also took mana?
No,
Yeah.
Not
the fuck?
No, wait a minute. Not from what I saw. The main weapon you came with, that didn't take any mana. The only time when you used mana was when you used either the spells or some of the equipment that had.
Yeah. I was able to use spells off the bat. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I saw.
Yeah, but the weapon I had, I think I had the wand.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
that's what I'm asking. The main weapon you start out with, does that drain your mana?
Yeah.
I think
That's fucking stupid,
No,
man.
Yeah,
no,
because
no,
the
no.
weapon I had shoot a fire, like a
Oh
bolt. Yeah,
man,
that took
I
mana.
was
Yeah.
here wondering what you talking about.
For its
like,
class.
why
For
would
its
you
class.
use your sidearms all the time? But oh my god, if your main weapon just drains all your mana, that's fucking stupid.
I
Yeah,
think- yeah.
it took like 1 mana per shot, but still, like,
And you got
like, I'm
5
trying to-
mana to start out with.
Yeah.
like right off the bat,
Oh my god.
you're trying to figure out the controls anyway, so you're casting magic spells right off the bat.
Yeah, you
Like, trying to
clearing a
figure
map and
out-
going back to the save point and going back to the map and going back to the save point because you got no mana all the time. That's stupid, man. Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
But
Yeah,
that was his class, though. That was
too.
your class. That's the reason. Because I started as a druid, and I just had the big sword, and that didn't take any mana.
Yeah, I had a rapier. That's
Nah,
why
nah,
I
I
was
started off-
wondering.
Yeah.
You know, I like
Oh
magic.
my
I like
God.
magic players.
And that's the reason
So
why
I
he
started
had
off
it.
with the- I started
your
off
main
with
weapon should not ever use mana. That makes no sense. That's just a soft lock right there. You can't use your equipment. You can't use anything anymore because your main weapon drains your mana. That's stupid.
exactly.
That man.
I'm like-
yeah, go ahead.
So I'm like, dang, you know what I'm saying? And another thing why I would improve is, you know, I mean, the gameplay, like the exploration, that's not bad. You know, like Zelda, you could start any dungeon you want in Zelda. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you can start on level 3, you can start on level 1 in the Legend of Zelda and get by. So, you know, going different places, that's fine. But the way this game is designed, you know, you can't finish anything. You know, so definitely developer make finishable dungeons for your demo. And another thing I would do is get rid of they say, you know, the translation thing. That's pointless because nobody's trying to keep reading that for every person you talk to. You know what I mean?
I didn't mind that at all. Maybe because again, I
Yeah.
played.
I liked it actually.
Yeah, it was very nostalgic for me from playing Legend of Magic of Scheherazade, so I didn't mind it. But I mean, that's your.
They
I
need to
don't
get
know what game that is.
They need to get rid of it. It doesn't make any sense. It don't make sense.
He wants it
It
gone.
doesn't need to make sense.
Huh?
It's just a quirky little thing.
Yeah,
like,
it
don't
can't
overthink it.
It can't be a quirk. It can't just be like a quirk in the game. It's just, you know, you just nah, man. You get
Yeah.
about it.
I didn't mind that
So
at
he's
all.
the only one that speaks English.
I mean, maybe there's a reason for it. I don't know. We don't know. I mean, there's a high-tech chamber to save your game.
Yeah.
Could
Like
be
this-
anything.
There's like so many different
Yeah,
things
yeah.
to find out in this game, and it's just like, okay, well, why is this? Well, what is that? What is that? So, go ahead. I'll probably come up last, maybe.
Yes, it's just like get rid of the slot machine. That's in the way.
Oh my God. Why is it even there? I don't understand.
Then you gotta make it, you know, like 'cause I thought the game was broke at first. I was like, why I can't talk to this person, or why I can't pick my helmet and stuff? Cause you gotta talk to every like everything's to the side. You gotta talk to them from the side, left or right. You can't talk to them from up and down. The dialogue won't, you know, go.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got to make that known, like in the beginning. You know what I mean? Because that could confuse your players. Because they trying to access something from a different point, and they can't. There's no dialogue. So that's kind of need to be explained a bit too. But
Right.
other than that,
Don't explain that. Just get rid of it. Give 4 directions. Having left or right only, that makes no sense. Make a side scroller game then.
but other than that, I mean, for RPG Maker, this game, I mean, it plays good. It plays good. Like there's no lag. There, like even when you fight the enemies, you know, the hitboxes seems to be on point. I like certain weapons have environmental effects, like the hammer breaks the rocks and stuff. You know, it could be a good game. Like this game still have hope. I really feel like this game still has hope.
Yeah,
But,
it can be good. It can become good, like with
yeah,
a little
Yeah,
with a little bit of work.
absolutely.
that's exactly what it needs. It needs some more TLC. Then
I
the
think
A
you're gonna say that.
developer, if you want, get people to play your game, I'm pretty sure they won't mind doing it. You know what I mean? Even though this is a free game, but still, you got to have other people play test your game, and not just you, because you may miss something. You know what I mean? That's why you got even these AAA companies, they have people play test their game because they're not going to be able to get everything. I think that's true with most developers. You're going to miss something, or something ain't going to be right. You know what I mean? Because every game that I play, there's some type of, bug or whatnot. I mean, that's natural. You know what I mean? So that's my only advice for the developer. I mean, keep up the good work. The game looks good. I like how the game starts off, but you just need uh a better environment for your gameplay.
Okay.
That's it.
I guess I'm of the mind, same kind of mindset with Doug in this regard. A good narrative, or at least having a narrative direction. You don't really maybe have to have a whole lot of story, but just a narrative direction would definitely help.
You
You
do,
know,
but it don't work.
I know that, but I think if he had, like, even the original Legend of Zelda, it had, okay, you're the hero, Ganon has the princess. You got to go through what you got to go through to get to where you're at. Be strong enough so you can defeat Ganon and save the princess. Even back then, it was very A, B, C type of thing. So if he's trying to go with that same type of, I guess, paradigm for his game, like which is what he's trying to do the exact same thing. And the beginning of the story was his parents kicked him out because he's you're a grown human being, or you're grown, whatever the heck you are. You can pay us rent, or you're going to have to find your own ways up and get your own place. Like, gotta go out in the world. Okay, so now this is
Yeah,
what
that was stupid. I mean, sorry to cut you off. That was dumb. I just forgot about that. Like you
Yeah,
got
I don't know what you mean, man. I found that hilarious.
nah, you getting kid. Like, come on, bro. Come on, like you get a magical item after getting kicked out. That don't make sense. That
Man,
don't
I
make
could
sense, bro.
relate to that dude, man. I was kicked out at 16 by my parents, dude. I was relating to that little motherfucker.
so see what I'm saying?
And
So
man,
now,
with all that free maxed out money, man, you can pay rent.
yeah. So like it's like okay. So now that he's kicked out, now you can say, okay, well, now that the hero, you've been kicked out of your parents' house, it's time. They said it was time for you to explore the world, to make a name for yourself, XYZ. So now you actually go out and you try to be the greatest hero you possibly be, or you set out on the winds of fortune to see what the world can give you, to try to make your mark on the world. And then as you explore through different levels of that, and you're completing quests and stuff like that, you can probably maybe go back to your parents and tell them, hey, well, I did X, Y, and Z, and your parents will be like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. So like, going through the process of it, you gradually earn your parents' respect, and then you get their pride, and then they say, well, son, well, whatever your name is, we're proud of you, whatever you did. We've heard so much about you. We brag about you to our friends, stuff like that. It's a simple story, but I think this would have actually gone a long way to help kind of give a skeleton to all the muscles, ligaments, and skin that would make up the rest of this game. I think if he had focused, he kind of nailed that down, even if it's just a simple premise, I think it would have gone a long way to address everything else that would have gone on, I think. So that would have given at least somewhat of a skeletal structure to everything else that's going along with it. And then he could have tweaked everything else that was going on with it to match that. You know what I'm saying? He could have a quest system, and completed these quests. And after he completed a certain number of quests, then he gets grudgingly more and more respect from his parents. That means the whole idea of the game would have been just, I want to have my parents' approval, which is not a bad thing. Maybe seen as maybe infantile, maybe it may be seen as something like adolescent, but it's still an idea, and it would have worked for something like this. Because, and think about all the replayability. You get to play as like how many different classes? In the initial screen, what was like 8 or 9 or something, like 10? How many was it?
I think it was 8 or 6, something like that.
Yeah. So now you have all this time and all these ways of playing it. You can, well, I would suggest it as like this, right? Like in Magic of Scheherazade, you had the ability sometimes of actually changing your class and doing, when you change the class, you improve certain stats so you can actually fight different bosses and stuff like that. So this could have been a chance where, well, no, again, you want to keep this relatively simple. Yeah, you can still do that, still keep it pretty simple. But I was thinking a way you can actually start learning skills from other classes and combine it with what you have, but then that's a little bit more, I guess, more robust than what he's trying to go. What he's trying to go for is a I wouldn't say minimalist, because that's what he has is more than minimalist. But I think he wants to have just enough that it's a functional RPG without adding a whole bunch of bells and whistles like skill trees, etc., etc. So I guess
the classes probably doesn't even mean much, like aside from the passive.
Okay.
Like, you get the same items.
Okay.
You can cast as much magic as a bard or a warrior if you have the wand than the mage. So the classes really only provide like that little bonus class passive. There's nothing more to it.
Okay. Well, then if that's the case, then if you're going to be more of a magic user, then I think it probably would be a good idea, especially if you're going to have them have their weapons use MP, then probably give them more MP. The classes that are more melee focused probably give them higher stats in terms of like attack. And then the classes that are maybe, I guess, DPS, I guess you could probably have them maybe use like agility or something like that, or luck, one of the other two. And so at every class,
give them a higher attack speed or something.
Yeah. So every class feels different inside of just that, and I think I think that should be relatively easy to do. I mean, you can do that in if you want to keep the game as the world's smallest RPG. I think you can still be able to do that. So if he's going to give the classes just minor tweaks like that, I think could actually go a good way of, number one, differentiating between the classes, add a little bit of replayability for it. And I don't know. You think this game could be used for a speed run type of thing? You think you could speed run this?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because it seems like it's possible to do that, especially with the different classes and everything else in terms of that. Oh, wait, was anybody ever able to get the Guardian door to open? I don't think you probably didn't go that far, Harlequin. D7, did you ever play, or did you ever get to the point where you saw the Guardian door come up on the map? D7? He probably stepped
out of here.
He probably stepped out. Okay, but when you get further into the game, I got to the point where I got something called the Guardian door, and I never was able to get it to open. So I guess probably the developer hadn't, I guess, gotten around to actually turn into a zombie. He probably hadn't got to the point where he had, I guess, maybe programmed or put in a box or anything like this. But I think that this game, I think it has speedrun potential.
I mean, sure, why not? But like, you also need more player guidance, though. Like, even the first kind of Zelda games, they kind of nudge you in the direction of like Dungeon 1. You can still go Dungeon 3 if you want to, but you're if you play the game for the first time and you're just moving around, chances are you're gonna come across dungeon 1 first.
Okay.
So that's kind of what you need here too. Like, what are you even supposed to do? Like, what's the thing we're gonna do here? Just run around randomly and I don't know, like a little more guidance, like nudge the player in like a direction where they can progress the game, because right now there's just a whole lot of dead ends everywhere.
I think what it is, I think the more I think what's supposed to happen here is, right, once you got to Dunkirk, I think the game is supposed to open up more. So I guess you go from completing the quest within that mountain first, then you open up the area which is Dunkirk, you do whatever kind of stuff that's going on around there, and after that, I guess another site on the map would open up as well. So I guess what's happening here is you're stuck in underground, right? You go through everything that's in the underground, you get whatever you gotta get through to that, then you open up the area to get to Dunkirk, and then you finish whatever stuff is going on in there, and then there's probably going to be another place opened up for that. So it is sort of a progression, but it's not. I guess it's not as obvious. It's not as hand-holdy, I guess.
I mean,
it's something
did you ever open the second area thing?
I never got a chance to get it. That was as far as it got.
That's the thing. Like,
You can't
no
open
matter
it.
where you go, there's just a dead end.
You can't open it. It's done.
Yeah,
Duncast,
combined with the other bugs that are already in there, it just feels like everything is just buggy. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe if it actually worked, then yeah, sure. I know I can go through the cave and then move on to the next area, but nothing works.
He said nothing works.
The cave is a dead end. Like, no matter where you go, everywhere in the cave
sounds like
is a fucking dead end.
He sounds so disappointed. Nothing works.
Yeah, man. Nothing in this fucking game works. Like, man.
I'll be honest.
This game like the first version of another isekai, I swear.
I mean, I honestly, I'll be honest. I was a little kind of disappointed myself because the graphics on it, it looks, the artwork and like the presentation of it, it just looks.
Absolutely, man. As I said, I was excited. Like I was like, hell yeah, you got this many classes and there is a bard class. Fuck yeah, let's go. And then as soon as D7 said, as soon as you reach the second screen, like the chaos ensues and nothing works anymore. Like, man,
Yeah, D7
get this
said
shit out of my face.
The travesty.
The travesty, yeah, the fucking travesty.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Man.
All right, guys. So now we come to the part of the show here where, based on our experiences here, and I'm going to ask D7 last because he played the other part of it, we're going to go through and we're going to come up with a suggested retail price based on everything we have played so far. All right, so we're going to go with Doug. Based on everything that you've gone through thus far, what would be your suggested retail price for this?
Okay, so in its current state, as I played it, it would be 0. But if the problems were fixed, which they can be, and the game really pulls off what it was meant to be presented as, I would say like $3.99.
Okay, $3.99. All right, now our resident German. What say to you, man?
I mean, it's depending on what we've seen, not what could be, right?
So if it's on what we played, it would be 0.
Okay.
Yeah,
but
you
if
just said it based on what we experienced.
Yeah, so if it's based off of what we experienced, you'd have to put my entry in as 0. But I was just saying that if the game fixed the issues, it would be $3.99 for me. So I don't know whether we want to go with something in between. I don't know, but I for what I played though, I would say 0 right now. Yeah, it's only a couple rooms.
All right. Okay. Now, what you got to say, Harlequin?
Yeah, same thing. Based on right now, this is a broken ass mess. Like there's 6K games of RPG Maker on itch, and like if I wanted to play broken shit, I can just pick any game on there and get the same result. Like your nice looking game is not gonna save you if nothing works in it. So that's a 0. The concept is great. Like if it was fixed and polished, sure, I can see $3.99 as well. But right now, you better pay me if you want me to play your update.
So what would be the cost you would have if they would pay you to play the game?
Man, I'm paying $50 for background, man. You pay me an hourly rate of at least 45.
Wow! Oh God, 45. Even though you
Man,
like the concept
hourly
and the
rate,
art,
man.
are you
I
giving?
need to eat, my dude.
So are you giving them a discount because you like the concept and the art? That's why it's like the whole full 50.
Man, if the dev came to me and said, "Look, I actually play tested my game this time, and I actually been a good developer and did my job," and then I surely would play it again. But I would not, like, as I said, like right now the experience is broken mess. So I'm not going out of my way to load up the game store page again to check if there's an update and to download the game again and to see if it's fixed or not. Like, it's not gonna happen.
Sheesh. Okay. Okay. For me, even with a little bit of bug and the annoyances aside, honestly, I'm interested in actually seeing what this game will be. Still, because from what I played of it, I actually enjoyed. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the little quirky, little conversation dialogue-y thing. I enjoyed, even though I was initially annoyed with having to interact with things from the side, I got used to it, and I kind of, you see me zipping around in battle and stuff, and I'm, karate chopping things with the sword and everything else. So even with all of that, I think, from what I've said, from what I experienced, and my state of mind at the time when I was playing it, I think, let's see. Even with a little bit of annoyances, I probably would have maybe $1. Maybe $1, because I didn't have a problem with the music. The battle system took me a little while to get used to. I would have liked to have seen the 4-directional combat, or at least have even if he didn't want to change the side to side, like he doesn't have to attack up, just have like the animation just go up and have the animation just go down like a big sweeping arc or something like that. I think would still work. And then finding the little secrets and stuff like that. I enjoyed exploring the game, seeing if there was anything else more that was, I think I would go even more than that. Now that I think about it, I mean, 175 just from because I'm thinking about it. I'm exploring the game, finding the little secrets and everything else, wondering what's around the corner. If there's anything else, maybe I can there. I think the only problem where I had an issue was I think that it just felt like, okay, is that it? There's nothing more, But it wasn't like I wasn't like mad, like okay, but I was kind of like oh, okay, well, that's a shame. I kind of want to see more. You know what I mean?
So you're more lenient with the polished demands, but you would also only pay half of what we would pay for a polished version of this.
At least for right now, because you gotta. It's still, like you said, it was a buggy mess, and there were some things that definitely.
Oh, so you're saying for the game right now, if it was done, you'd pay like $1 something?
Like 175. Yeah. I wouldn't mind paying 175 for it, just for the simple fact the one to have the game, because once I have it, then that gives the dev time to update it and everything else.
No updates. You buy the finished game as jank as this for 170 something.
Well, the amount for the fun of it and the overall experience, I think I would still pay 175. I think I still would. Yeah.
What? Tell me where you have fun in this game. Be honest.
initially, the first time when you talk to your parents, I was already hooked. I was like, oh, okay.
Wow,
This,
one scene. Wow.
that wasn't just
Yeah,
a
I did like the dialogue, but like even combat was like boring for me. The only time I died is when I accidentally fell off the cliff.
I mean, I enjoyed
like,
the whole. I mean, I think the reason why I liked the combat is because it was different. Because it wasn't what you usually see even in a Zelda game, and it made things.
I mean, it's pretty much Link's Awakening, to be honest. Like it's the same thing.
Kinda, but it made me think more strategically in terms of using my attack. Yeah, because you can't attack up. So you got to figure out different ways of attacking from different sides and everything, and you got to maneuver, baby. You got to
up and down.
Go
brother,
from left to right.
You gotta
back to left. What you talking
You
about?
gotta choose
Strategic. This is strategic. If there's an enemy with a helmet, you can't do magic attacks or regular. You got to smash the helmet with the hammer. Then you hit them with a normal attack. That's strategic. This game didn't have any of that. It didn't have that, brother.
It felt like it to me. It felt like I had to choose my positions a little bit better. So I had to. It wasn't just a simple.
But I mean, that's basic ARPG gameplay. That's not really a strategy.
Yeah, who want to keep breaking the rocks? You know what I mean? You gotta keep breaking stuff you already broke. Every time you go from one screen to the other, like this game need a. No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right. Okay,
You're trying to pull a Dungeon Dreams on us here, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
Trying to stay this game for good.
Here we go then. We're gonna go to D7. D7. He was vociferous about this one. He's like, I started talking about it. He's like, oh, no. I can't. He couldn't
I ain't gonna lie.
Go ahead,
I'm D7 Ross. You know what I mean? I'm like the nicest guy you could ever have to play your game. But as a Zelda fan, this dropped the ball. This dropped the ball as a Zelda fan. I mean, I see this game has lots of potential. It has a lot of potential. Mm-hmm. But for the demo, it's nah. Like based off what it's free game. It's a free freaking game based off what I played.
Go ahead, man. Give us the whole breakdown on everything you played, Brandon. Why are you saying? So you're saying that you would pay nothing? It'd be zero for you, right?
Like it. As a Zelda fan, I love The Legend of Zelda. As a Zelda fan, I don't see anything that can compete against Zelda based off the gameplay. Even though the whole Legend of Zelda, when you first boot up The Legend of Zelda, you're right. If you didn't read that, the backstory, you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on. But as soon as you hit the start button and you create your name, you're right in the open field and there's a cave. You go in the cave, there's an old man say, hey, it's dangerous, take this. That's all you got. The rest is just exploring. And if you find characters in the cave, they give you cryptic messages. There's nothing clear. You know what I mean? But it worked. In this game, it plays the same. You don't really get like hand holding like the Legend. I mean, this got a little bit more hand holding because it at least tells you where to go, like who to talk to, where to go, and stuff like that. But even with the extra hand holding that this game has, it failed to deliver. You know what I mean? It failed to deliver an experience where a player could actually, enjoy. All this game is really a tech demo. This is probably, a map that the developer used in order to actually test certain things out. You know what I mean? Like certain enemies, certain weapons, certain abilities. I felt like that's all we got in this game. You know what I mean? The game isn't ready. It is not ready. Like you can tell this room is a puzzle room right here. You know what I mean? You probably gotta light these fires up and something will come down and you could go in this cave up there. You know what I mean? We don't have anything to actually, make this a reality and actually explore. The game just each map is just a dead end. You know, you go to a dead end. There's no boss. There's no climax in the story. Like, what's next? You know what? Like, what am I getting myself into when I play this game? So paying the price for a game that I played a demo that really took you nowhere, it's crazy. It's crazy. You know what I mean? It's freaking crazy. So yeah, free. It's a free game. It's a free freaking game. It's a free freaking game. I can't pay a dime for it.
Okay.
I mean, I like the
If
concept,
you
but
manage to make D7 say free instead of 99 cents, you know you messed up.
So now this is
it's a
based off
Legend of
both
Zelda,
versions,
man. You know what I
And
mean? This is
D7
Legend
plays
of
paid
Zelda.
99 cents for every game on his review list, but you messed it up, my dude.
But to be fair, if this game played the way it's supposed to play,
Mm-hmm.
if this game played the way it was supposed to play, with the puzzles, the weapons, the epic music, I would pay $2.99 for this project.
Yeah.
I would pay $2.99 for this. You know what I mean? I mean, this game it don't seem hard to make at all. It really don't. Yeah, I mean, you got some great ideas, but it don't seem that difficult to make. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not
And the game,
really.
the
Like,
game
it's-
doesn't even use a lot of plugins. I think it uses like 8 plugins just to make it. Where y'all game got like 100 plugins in one game.
Yeah.
I think I've got 180.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I
ridiculous.
think
That's
Origins
ridiculous,
has
guys.
like 70 or some shit like that.
That's ridiculous. You got all them plugins for a knock game. That's crazy.
Come on, bro. Okay, so I'm the only one who
Knock,
gave
knock
this,
game.
based on his experience, gave this game a price. So between all of us, divide that by 4. That comes out to 43.70. It's 0.4375. So 44 cents.
How is it even 44 cents? We got 3 zeros. What the hell?
But you got to divide that by 4. But you got 175. You got to divide
Jesus.
175 by 4. You get 0.4.
Man, I'm gonna
3.75.
make a game like that, exactly like it, and then you gonna buy it. Swear to God, if you ain't buying it, I'm gonna sue you.
I would master a game like this.
Come on, man.
And
You
these
said
games
you
are
buy a
harder to make. To be
jank-ass
honest,
game like that. I'm
These
gonna
games
make a
are harder to
jank-ass
make.
game. Fuck hell, man. I'm gonna put my jam game up for sale, and you buy that because it's gonna be better anyway.
Okay. So yeah, okay. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, I gotta save my money up for make sure I get that Kickstarter, man. Get that Kickstarter.
I am going to
Yeah.
stream. I am going to stream the newer edition though,
Okay. When you
like so
gonna
I
do
can
that?
actually like put my time into it and not
Uh-huh.
rush it the way I did.
Yeah.
Maybe
know,
you
just
should
to
wait
have-
for another update though. Like if it's still buggy as fuck, maybe the dev can like fix the bugs first, and we can get an actual playthrough of the full demo and not be in a dead end all the time. Maybe that would be a wise idea.
Maybe. I think I kind of
Because you said the new demo is still broken, right? So why play it? Why not let the dev fix his shit first? If you're giving him the chance of another like public exposure thing, like at least let him fix his shit first.
He did 2 minutes. I mean, he did it 2 hours ago. So
Yeah, what you said is still broken.
so I don't know. One man Indy must have tipped them off about this demo.
I did. I told him that we were going to be doing a review of it, and that's why he updated it 2 hours ago.
I mean, you
However,
didn't tell him about your playthrough, right?
I told him I asked him. I told him I did X, Y, Z. Is there anything else more going on with this? Did I miss something? And I didn't. And he I guess I got ghosted for like days. And then I'll say, okay, well, fine. I'll just let them know we're gonna be doing a review of it anyway because it's
I
just
don't
common
think we need
courtesy.
to do that. I don't think we should do that, to be honest.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah, because what they have, it's their responsibility to
Yeah.
have a playable demo up.
Yep. Exactly my
You know what I
point.
mean?
Play
I see
test
what
your
you're saying.
shitty games, man, before you upload them.
Like then we'll be play testers and we'll be required
Uh,
or be able to be compensated for our time.
I see what you're saying. Okay, I get you. I get you. But
You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is what I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is
Yeah.
this. We can let the
You're
developer
right.
know,
You're
hey,
right.
we want to feature your game on our podcast. You know what I mean? Our podcast is, it's a week from now, it's 5-6 days from now. We're planning on doing your game. So within that time, the developer should be able to have a decent demo out, or maybe updates within, I would say, 3 days. You know what I
Okay.
mean? 3
Yeah.
days before the podcast. You can't do that on the same day of the podcast. It's impossible.
No, I think I
I
gave.
wouldn't
I
even.
told him.
I
I
would
told him
just
I
yesterday.
won't
give
even
them a
tip them all,
note.
to be honest, because that's why, like, me personally, I like to come into this stuff blind. You know what I mean? I like to come into this blind and not knowing, you guys' experience versus my experience. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be more interesting, to know what your experience with the game and not knowing. You know what I mean? There's the same reason why I don't like playing demos like of AAA games, because or I don't even watch other people opinions about the game, because that's their opinion. I like to be surprised when I like to play a game, or if I'm expecting the game, I want to be surprised when I play it. You know what I mean? That goes for a lot of demos. And once I play it, I go and watch other people's demos of the game, see our similarities. If they like what I like, they hate what I hate, whatever. You know what I mean? So the developers, once they already know we about to play the game, they should be already on top of their game. You know what I mean? And the demo should be already top their game as well. Instead of,
Yeah. Yeah,
why release a
absolutely.
demo?
We're not play testers.
That's what I'm saying. We're not play testers, but when you play a demo and review it, you're kind of like a play tester for that one day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they can take the feedback, sure, but we're not gonna go out of our way and let the developer know. Listen, we
And that's
play
what I'm
your
trying to
game.
tell
You
one
better
man, Andy.
update it or some
I
shit
want to
like
be
that.
like,
Nah.
I want to be like, man, we gonna give it to you raw, because this is what you put out. I'm not gonna help you, tell you, like, man, you need to release a playable demo. You know what I mean? Where the developer felt like they released a playable demo, but it's not.
Okay, well, because I told him like I say about the day before we put out the stream. So I say, okay, well, because I wasn't expecting any kind of a response that day, because I told him I brought up the issues days before and I got no response. So I figured, okay, well, he'll probably get this maybe like a month afterwards or whatever, and he'll do whatever. Now, had the developer been, I guess, been able to respond quicker, then I would have maybe I would have maybe put it on back, put it in the background, something like that. And
I'm pretty
maybe not
sure a
told him.
lot of us would have replayed it
Yeah.
if we had time.
So it just kind of worked out. Didn't really work out the way that I would have liked it, but it is what it is. So I told him, look, it's
Phantom
like,
Kitty Games.
Yeah, I
Phantom
saw.
Kitty Games said, yeah, you are play testers. You play the game and test things. Sheesh.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I guess if he was able, I guess maybe the timing didn't work right. I guess maybe because no one, maybe no one play tested. Like maybe he
I mean,
might
they
say
they probably didn't expect any kind of
feedback.
exposure like that. Like they just uploaded their game knowing nobody will play it, and then suddenly you come along and say, "Hey, we're gonna live stream your effing game."
And that's how it is. That's with a lot of folks. That's the way it is.
Exactly, that's how it should be. Like, don't give them the time to quickly fix their shit. Nah.
Nah, bro. You gonna
You
get
wanna
the
s-
smoke.
Yeah, exactly how it should be.
But I figure, you could give him.
That's
give him a
one man.
chance.
He got a good heart though. His heart is like gold. So
I try. I want to give him a chance. All are ruthless. It's like, nah, play, no warnings. Ain't no warnings. Ain't no warnings. Ain't no warnings at all. It's 3
Man, there is no warning when you fall down the cliff either, man. Fuck that.
Well, yeah, I will say this. I'll say this personally from what I experienced. I hope, it's my sincere hope, that the dev continues to develop the game. Don't leave a concept that is so ripe for the right type of story and the right amount of polish to really tell this game what it has to be. I think this could actually be a great project only if the dev is passionate about it. And it would be a doggone shame if he just left it the way it is, the newest version that D7 has, and that's it. Don't be discouraged by what okay, look, yeah, D7 and Harlequin, okay, they kept it real with you. All right, well, get over that. Keep pushing, brother. Keep pushing. Don't get discouraged. You have something here. You just gotta you gotta take it to the all-you-can-eat buffet and let it eat a little bit, let it put a little bit more meat on the bones, and it'll be fine. You got it. You got it, man. What y'all got on it, man? Y'all got it. D, Doug, Harlequin, y'all got anything else to say, or we just closing it
I
out?
think
I said everything I had to say.
I've said everything I have to say too.
Yeah, man, I can just repeat,
keep
man.
grinding,
Play test your
developer.
fucking game.
Keep grinding, developer. Don't give up. Don't give up. Keep developing your game. I'm not gonna say the developer don't have passion. I think they do. It's just, some of the marks just need to be rechecked. It could be eventing issues. It could be anything. It could be something small. Maybe they got excited and didn't think nobody was gonna play their game, and they wanted to make the changes. We probably gave them life. You know what I'm saying? So, because like I said, when you see the new version, it's going to look like a different game, like different maps and everything. So maybe we made a difference. So, I'm not going to take away from the developer. Just keep grinding, and hopefully one day, you get to where you want to be in this game development journey.
Well, all right. Well, now, as all things, thanks for the pod today, guys. Yeah, man. Thanks for stopping by. Riggy, Phantom Kitty. I was going to say Streamlabs. I read that wrong. Lightning Cloud. Thank you for all the folks who came. Thank you for the folks who are going to be listening to the replay. And thank you for those who will be listening to the podcast on transmissions of the Omniverse podcast channel on Spotify. I will actually have it updated and have it up and ready by 7 o'clock tonight. You'll actually be able to hear the edited version of it as well. If you could, please follow me over there. Again, I'm about down by 99 followers on that on Spotify. Hook it up, support a brother. All you got to do is follow me on there. I got lots of different videos. I got all kinds of different audio content up there now. Like I got like at least 20 some odd episodes up on there. So you got plenty of stuff to listen to while you're working out, while you're cooking, all kind of stuff. So again, I'll put the link down to the Spotify. Follow it. Click on it. Follow me. That gets me one step closer. Follow all these brothers here. I'll leave all their links to their channels down in the description. Follow these brothers. Help grow their subscribers, support them in any way you can, and also their projects. D7 is now getting back into the world of game dev. We just need some more game devlogs. That's all we need, brother. But other than that, support his new project coming out. There's going to be a lot of interesting stuff in this, especially from everything he's telling us, but he's not showing us. But based on what he's telling us, it looks like there's going to be some pretty interesting stuff. So support that. My man Harlequin got a he had a Kickstarter coming up for his game. Follow to get notified about it when it launches. He's launching his own game. Yes. Support this brother. Support his game. Let's make this another great RPG maker game campaign that we can support with our money behind it. That's a good brother here. He's been with us for so long. Let's show some support for him. And then we got Doug here with his expansive Starship universe and his narrative. He already got Origins out. He's working on Rebellion. He's working on Legacy. And we're going to have Starship freelancers out as well. So there's a lot of great content coming out. Yeah?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Each of the we got Origins already came out. Rebellion's coming out next.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got freelancers. Think of those as 3 prologues. So my franchise has 3 prologues, and then Legacy is the bigger game where you pick you make different choices. You pick your own like species, whether you're android or whatever, and then it's actually based more on the player rather than the backstory. But all these people converge in the main game, so I had to make shorter games about them so that the player kind of knows who they are when they play the main game. So I'm excited.
There you go. So we got a lot of good content coming up from all of us and the RTP podcast. Please give us all your support. It definitely helps out, and it definitely helps to increase the podcast and each of us in general. But on that note, I want to thank you personally for coming out. God bless you. God be with you. And I hope to see you again on the other side. Have a great one, everybody.